Okay, so this is a video showing you this Tschudin. This is a HTG 410. This is in pretty nice shape. This is original paint. It was well kept and runs well. So go over a few things about this machine. First of all, you have a variable speed, mechanical variable speed drive headstock that's both live and dead. And it uses a Morse taper number 5 center. And there's different reduction sleeves that you could use to go down to different Morse tapers. You could put a chuck in there, or a faceplate with a drawbar, or even a collet arrangement are available for these. The tailstock is nice and sturdy. It's a Morse taper number 3. You have an adjustment on the back here with the spring loaded to give you more or less tension. And from the factory or from the parts distributor in Germany, there are different springs that you can get for a much lighter feel. The spindle is a hydrodynamic oil bath type of spindle. Runs on bronze bearings. It's very smooth. It's got a 14-inch grinding wheel, and you can probably get away with a 2-inch wide wheel with proper spacers and a recessed wheel. This whole head slides back and forth for a coarse adjustment. You can pull this top portion of the spindle toward you or away from you, depending on the size of your wheel and the size of your part. It's fully automatic. It's got pick feed left and right or both sides. It's got plunge grinding with the coarse and a fine feed, plus a spark out at the end of both traverse cycles and plunge grinding cycles. You've got a selector switch here to tell you in the traverse grinding mode what dog you want it to trip out on, so that the part doesn't come off, the wheel doesn't come off the part in the center. You want to remember, it doesn't know if you don't set it, and it also has a setting just for plunge grinding when you're going to come straight in. There's a timer on the top here for how long the spark out is. Starts your hydraulics, starts your spindle, different controls for the way things differently work here. And then your different modes, your plunge grinding or your traverse grinding, and your feeding on both sides. So let's go ahead and start this up. That's the hydraulic unit. Over here is the main lever to control. The first position will start our grinding spindle and bring the wheel slide in. Do that again. First position starts up the headstock. And this, like I said, is variable. The more I turn this, the faster or slower. And it's very smooth. This will go. Then you have your rapid approach. That's a fixed amount. It's always the same every time. And then you start your table moving. And this controls the speed of the table. These are your table reversal dogs. We're just going to move them a little bit so we don't hit anything. And you see each time we reverse, we're feeding here with the hand wheel. There's a dial along this hand wheel here, a small dial that you can adjust. There's a dot on it. That's where you set it for your fine feed to start. So when the switch in there gets to that point, you're going to start to feed less each increment or each pass until you get down to 0. And this will be a little bit smaller of an infeed now. It's generally used in plunge grinding. So now we made it to 0. The infeed is going to stop, and our spark out timer is on, and we kicked out on the right side because I have my switch here set to kick out on the right. The longitudinal hand wheel is automatically kicked out when you go into automatic here, so when you want to move your table by hand, you have to push it back in. But this is going to automatically pop it back out again. So your plunge feed cycle, you want to shut your table off. And you have some feed rate valves over here. So first thing we start, we come in and I can go into my, first of all, if you want to take more stock off, you disengage that clutch lever in the center, just back the hand wheel up wherever you want it. You haven't changed the final size at all, you've just changed the stock removal amount. All right, so now we're feeding down in a plunge grind. Stops there at the little dot. Now I got to open up my fine feed. It's going to go quickly. It's fine feed. It's going to get to 0. And because I forgot to put my switch on plunge grinding, it's waiting to hit one of these dogs, which it's not going to because the table's not moving. So I'm going to put this switch up here on plunge. And when it gets there, it comes out. So we do that again, right down to grinding your workpiece. Your operator just has to reach down here and adjust these feeds. The numbers on these dials are just for reference. They don't mean anything. Once you have everything set up nice, you can hit this button and you have an automatic cycle. This stuff up here is all for your table adjustment. For taper, you have a very fine adjustment, the big wheel on the back and a coarser one, the one in the front. The grinding wheel, we're going to start that for you right now. Well, this is the Tschudin, made in Switzerland. This is the HTG 410. Really nice grinder. Any questions, give us a call. Thank you very much.